A warm welcome. This is the first episode of 2025 of Stu's Wrestling Podcast. It is the 6th year of the show. Waiting in the wings for episode 193 is my first masked wrestler, Luchador. Can you believe it? In 6 years of doing this show, having a myriad of guys on, it's my first Luchador masked wrestler. It's former AEW star Fuego Del Sol, all the way from Oklahoma. How are you, brother?
I'm doing really well. How are you doing, Stu?
All good, man. All good. I've been very much looking forward to this. And I'm going to go right into current stuff, man. You've been at GCW over the weekend at the Hammerstein Ballroom, of course, the famous Hammerstein Ballroom. And I've got a video that I'm going to pump up in a minute from your X account. But yeah, how was GCW over the weekend, brother?
It was incredible, man. I had a long weekend. What people don't know is that I wrestled in a much smaller companies and states the 2 days before. So I was traveling all weekend, but like the only thing on my mind was getting to the Hammerstein Ballroom for GCW, the People versus GCW. And I got to wrestle in a scramble match with 5 other really great wrestlers that, you know, were looking to do the same thing I was wanting to do. And that was steal the show at the Hammerstein Ballroom, and I feel like we did a pretty damn good job of that.
It was stacked, that match as well. We had Rich Swann in it, of course. Rich Swann, what a talent! You know, been fantastic.
Incredible.
Just crazy man, and just so cool. I'm going to pump the video in of a said move that you have posted on your personal Twitter as well. I'll just drop the screen down a little bit so we get it in full view.
Del Sol!
Yeah! How does it feel when you hit that move like that? Obviously, being a high flyer as you are, getting that move and performing it in front of a crowd, and then just that atmosphere, that reaction from the crowd, man. How did that feel hitting that?
It was crazy. I mean, you know, I'm not the first guy to ever do a 630, and I'm not acting like it was something super crazy or special. But for me, I knew I had never done that move in a match. And, you know, you're deep into a match. You took all these different moves. You know, I literally just took this crazy kick right before this. And I hit my head pretty hard. And the first thing I thought of was like, man, I really don't want to mess up this 630. And just to get up there and to commit and to nail it in front of all those people at the Hammerstein, it felt incredible, man. I was so pumped up. As long as that went right, I didn't care about anything else. I was worried about that looking good, and most importantly, you know, safely feeling good. And it did, and but it just sent my confidence through the roof.
Fan perspective, of course, I've never got in between the ropes. I'm like Bambi, man. I'd be like skidding around. I do what I do. I do what I do, Fuego. I do what I do. I respect what you guys do. Is there ever fear hitting those high-risk moves, man? I love asking you guys about maneuvers and different things. Is there ever fear in your mind with that, or how do you feel before hitting a move like that, so high risk?
You know, because I've slipped on small things in the past, anytime I jump onto the ropes, there's this minor second, like, where in my head I say, please don't fuck up, please don't fuck up, please don't fuck up. I literally I do what I call a fuego combo, which is like a moonsault with the guy standing up. So I'll hit the like almost like a line salt when he's standing up. He takes it down, and as he tries to get back up, I nip up to my feet and I hit him with a super kick. So I call it the fuego combo. And every time I go to hit that moonsault, I literally say to myself in my head, like, please get this right. And I hit it and I go, same thing. I do a moonsault DDT, which sometimes requires me to double step to the rope. So I'll step on the middle rope, then I'll step up to the top rope. And like the whole time, I'm just like, please land on these ropes properly. It is. I'm never scared, but I'm always nervous of messing up. Absolutely.
Are you missing AEW at all? You were there for a sustained period, of course. I want to talk about your AEW run. It was a long time when you look back as well. You know, you did have a long time there. I know how close you are with Sammy Guevara, of course, and just like your time in AEW. And are you missing that, or are you enjoying working for all these different companies as frequent as you are now?
I miss the friends. I miss the people there. Absolutely. You know, I've been able to go back. I went back for a small period of time in the summer and did some Ring of Honor. And then I just recently went back for 2 days last month in December, and I did a dark match. And so I got to see some friends and see the people. And, get and meet some new people as well. I definitely miss the people, and I miss the money. I would be lying if I didn't say I missed the good 6-figure paycheck. Absolutely. However, I want to be at a place where I'm wanted. And, not saying I'm not wanted there, but clearly I'm not wanted as much as I'm wanted other places. And so I am very grateful to be able to still do this as a full-time job and travel the U.S. and sometimes the world and get paid to do this for a living anywhere and everywhere. So like I'm constantly accepting bookings to new spots, to random spots, to spots no one's even ever heard of because it pays my bills and I love pro wrestling.
Do you like that freedom? I know you're obviously saying about not being and the money, the 6 figures of AEW. Are you enjoying that freedom? I know they allowed you to take bookings outside when you were there. I totally get that, but more freedom. How's that for you now?
It's a little worrisome, I think, because this month I might have 10 or 11 bookings, and next month I might only have 6, 7 bookings. So it's like, because there's no set number of shows, my income varies every month. So it stresses me out more than I love the freedom, right? Also, I knew that AEW was going to fly me with this certain airline to this show and have my hotel that I know was a good hotel every week. And on the indies, you might get flown Spirit this week and Frontier next week, and you can make demands, but I try to be pretty lenient. I want to make the show. So just pay me my money and get me there however you get me there. And sometimes there's crappy hotels. And again, I don't want to be a diva because there was plenty of times back in the day where I was making no money and never got a hotel. So I'm very thankful for my position in wrestling, but you get used to a certain lifestyle. And I think adjusting back to the indies is difficult because you grow to love the what is already, almost expected with the AEW. But no, I love having time in my matches. I never had a match on TV in AEW over 10 minutes long. So I have those every week on the indies. Like I can't tell you my last indie match that didn't go over 10 minutes long, because having that time, time is the most important currency in pro wrestling. You need time to tell your story. And I never got that time in AEW. I had a couple dark matches that maybe passed the 10-minute mark, but it was very rare. And so to get the time to tell my stories and prove how good I am, and just also, flex my muscles and exercise how good I am, it just makes me better to have that much time. So I love that freedom on the indies.
Very much pros and cons to both. That's what I'm taking away with what you were saying there. But yeah, again, at least you're getting the bookings though as well. You are everywhere, man. We can see that. We can see you are getting booked far and wide, aren't you? What about coming to the UK, man?
I went to the UK for a small period last summer. I got to wrestle in London and Southampton. I did 2 shows in Wales. I did Norwich and I did Blackpool, and I loved my 2.5 weeks that I spent over there. It was so incredibly awesome, and I need to get back, and I want to get back. It was my first time ever going to the UK and experience the UK. I got to wrestle for a few companies, including Rev Pro, but it was too short, and it wasn't. I think the summer, so many people are on holiday. It's hard to hit all the places and big shows that you want. So I'd love to come over there, not right in like prime holiday season. I'd love to come over there at a time where I can do some more stuff.
How was the crowd? How did the crowd differ to a US crowd for you? What were the differences? Was there any similarities? What did you pick up on our fan base over here?
Super nice. And then in Southampton, I remember I was wrestling Will Cavens, and the whole match they were just singing about how crappy he was, and it was hilarious. It was awesome. But when I'm getting beat up, and I want to make a big comeback, I kind of want them to cheer me a little bit. And so, but they were so into calling Will all these names and singing about him, which was great. I love a good football chant, but it was hard to adjust to. I'm like, are they enjoying what we're doing, or are they just enjoying themselves? I don't understand this part. But that was really the only match of that type of thing happen for the most part. I thought the fans were pretty great.
Amazing. Yeah, we love our wrestling, baby. We truly do, and we're different, man. But it was totally different. The amount of guys I've spoke to over the years who've come over here said you're wild. Like, I've never known anything like it. But cool, man. Cool, you've had good experience over here. And yes, get this, man. But get Fuego del Sol back over the pond. Let's get him across the pond here and back. Get him booked. Let's get him booked. There'll be plenty of promoters watching this. Let me tell you. We've got a message in the comments as well. We've got a live chat message. Matthew Rodriguez. And it is, hey, Fuego, thoughts on Penta's WWE debut? Fantastic. Good question.
I thought he looked phenomenal. Just any man who doesn't, I hate how much controversy surrounds someone trying to leave a company and go somewhere else. And you can kind of see that the wrestler usually takes the underdog status when something like that happens, whether it be someone trying to, there was a big Free Ali movement a couple years ago in WWE that he asked for his release and they didn't give it to him. And it was the same thing here, as much tribalism goes on in pro wrestling. At the end of the day, I just want wrestlers to be able to make good money and be where they want to be and be where they think their opportunity is going to, their best opportunity is going to be. And so he had a great match with Chad Gable. And I'm intrigued to see what else happens for Penta over on WWE.
Good match with Pete Dunne as well on Monday.
Absolutely great,
great. It's brilliant matches you've never seen before. This is what it's all about, and they've had a solid start on Netflix. I will say that it's been good. We've got Joe Lowry ringside with What a Day. Greetings from the USA from Joe Lowry. Cheers, Joe. What a day. All the best, man. All the best. Also, I just want to move on to your bookings this weekend as well. Let's get a bit of promoting going on here. Ready for the weekend, of course. Friday at Synergy, as you can see there. So, yeah, you're booked on this show this coming Friday. So, yeah, just tell the viewers and listeners all about it before you go.
Oh, my goodness. This is in my home state and really, really near my hometown. You hear it on my entrance, Mobile, Alabama. I was born and raised there. I trained there. Fun fact about this promotion is that former referee and wrestler Scott Armstrong helps run this promotion. He's a producer in the backstage, and so I'm really looking forward to going and working with him and wrestling in front of my hometown and getting to see a bunch of my friends and family and such.
Amazing. Like, and yeah, back
me and Big Sam Stackhouse, who's also on that poster, will be driving down. First, on Thursday, we have a show in Houston, Texas. So we'll drive to Houston first, stay in Houston overnight, and then drive to Theodore, Alabama, as it says on the poster there.
Perfect, man. Perfect. Thank you for promoting that. And yeah, if you're in the vicinity, in the local area or a bit further away, get down to the show. Let's support these independents, man. Let's support the wrestlers. This is the revenue source for these guys. Please get down there and support Fuego and the guys at Synergy. And then moving on to Saturday, as you can see, that homecoming as well. On Saturday.
Yes, Plaquemine, Louisiana. It's my first time wrestling for Pro Wrestling 225, but I've heard a ton about it. And as I came up in the Gulf Coast scene, I know a lot of these guys. And the guy I'm wrestling, his name's Lucha Locura. He, when I was just getting started early on in the first couple years in, he kind of helped me a lot and helped me along. But now, he's got a little cocky and he thinks the student has surpassed the teacher in a lot of ways. And so we'll see if he still got it. He talks about retirement. He talks about a semi-retired schedule. But I definitely think he really wants something to prove when he steps in the ring with a guy like me, Fuego del Sol. So we'll see if Lucha Locura still got it, or if the student has now become the master.
So again, if you're in the Louisiana area and further, if you're in a neighboring state, get over to the show. Please get over, support the guys, Fuego, and the guys on these shows. Independence is so important. Let's get the numbers through the door, man. It's the lifeblood for these guys. Everyone's trying to make money. Everyone's trying to grind through life, of course, aren't they, Fuego?
You're damn right. It's rough out here, but I'm making towns and making money.
Absolutely. Everywhere, man. He's everywhere, this man. Matthew Rodriguez, again, we've got another comment in the live. So I'll pull that up now and I'll read it out. Fuego, I want you to take I want your take, sorry. Do you think the timeless Tony Storm can work in WWE? And do you think the WWE will get interested on Tony and have a bidding war on her? Good question again, Matthew. Thank you, brother.
I mean, Tony did wrestle for the WWE. I don't know. It's all about Tony's mindset, right? I'm not inside of Tony's head. But do I think WWE shows interested? Yes, they didn't want her to leave the first go round. She never got released. They always featured her heavy on NXT and during the Mae Young's Classic. I think of course you get to the main roster and you deal with a new booker, and unfortunately, I don't think her and that booker got along. She didn't like the way she was being used. She saw the opportunity to jump to AEW, which was super hot at the time, and she took it. And, they created this timeless Tony Storm character, and they're still doing stuff with it right now. I think everyone believes that it's timeless Tony taking his acting gig, trying to act like the old Tony Storm. I think if you're a great wrestler and have a reputation of being great, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your gimmick is necessarily. I think Tony's such a great wrestler that if her contract's coming up and she shows the slightest interest in going somewhere else, WWE would jump at the chance to get her back.
Just so good. It's incredible. She was so well known for in-ring, wasn't she, for years and years and years. She was over in the UK for years as well. It's just amazing. And yeah, I think it's only a matter of time before timeless Tony Storm makes her reappearance, as it were. It's on the cards, isn't it, for sure?
Absolutely. I remember even before she did the timeless Tony Storm character, her and Jamie Hayter had one of the best matches on Dynamite I've ever seen. And so it's just like she's so good in ring, and for her to put it all together and dive into a new character was just great to see. That's what you want to see. You want to see people have the freedom to try new things and commit to it. And I think, for so long, people have only known me as good guy Fuego Del Sol. And it's almost in a way, it's like people don't know how diverse my character and my acting skills are. And so you want to flex those muscles in the right ways at the right time. But just imagine for 11 years, you've been a great actor and everyone knows you as an actor, but you've been able to sing this whole time and no one knows. And then you start singing and everyone's like, oh my God, I didn't know he was capable of this. He's so great. Let's go do all. That's the thing, is like you want to be able to diversify your skill set and show your skill set at the right time in the right place, with the right push at times.
Shoot for the moon, isn't it? A bad idea in your head might not necessarily be a bad idea. It could catch fire, couldn't it? It could make, it could really, improve your character. You just don't know. I think everyone needs to bounce more ideas off, maybe, because you just never know, do you? You just never know.
You got to try new stuff. You just got to throw stuff at the wall because you never know what's going to stick.
Absolutely. Matthew Rodriguez again. I'm going to ask this, but I don't know if you will answer it or not. I know how close you are with Sammy, of course. Fuego, do you remember being backstage in that incident at AEW All Out 2020 between Sammy and Matt Hardy?
Oh yeah, where Matt got hurt, unfortunately. What people don't realize is that Matt has been doing insane stuff his whole career, and so when they do that spear off the balcony, that was just as much 100% Matt's idea. It's not like Sammy didn't protect him. That was a wild fall at a wild angle in a spot that you really can't practice. And, as wrestlers, you say, you sometimes you feel you get rocked and you be like, oh man, I'm good. I can go. I can continue. And Matt thought he'd continue, and Sammy was going to try his best to continue to help him safely continue the whole time. Should it have been stopped? Yes. But also I know how tough Matt Hardy is. And, I feel like Sammy gets a bad rap for continuing that match. And, he threw the chair at Matt a few weeks earlier. And so there was already, heat on him hurting Matt. And so I just think it was an unfortunate incident all the way around. Luckily, they got to make up for it, and they wrestled later on and had much better matches. So I love both of those guys. Both of those guys are great human beings, both Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara. So unfortunate that they had some bad luck together. but doesn't change the fact that they're great pro wrestlers.
And yeah, incredible. Like Sammy, I love Sammy as well. Superb. And met Matt years ago actually at WrestleCon in 2013. Brilliant. Had a long queue, but did not rush people who queuing to meet him.
They always have a long queue. They're so over. He told me what they made at WrestleCon last year. It was the first time him and Jeff had got together for a signing for 3 days, and the number is more than most people make in a year. How much money they made. I don't want to put his business out there, but it was more money than most, I would say, even wrestlers make in a year. It was insane.
WrestleCon in Dallas, they had a ladder set up. Obviously, I was going around meeting other people, and you could get the dual photo op. I remember that they set a ladder up. It looked bloody incredible. I was walking past, but great. Just down to earth. You can meet your heroes, can't you? You really can.
I used to pretend to be, me and my brother used to pretend to be Matt and Jeff Hardy on my trampoline growing up. So just to know that Matt is my friend, I got his number, I could text him. Anytime we're on shows together, we laugh, we talk about our kids, we hang out. It's a good time. I love that. Yeah. Meet your heroes, especially meet the Hardy Boys.
Full circle, man. Absolutely with that. Absolutely. I'm just going to go back to AEW because obviously you faced a litany of guys over the years there. You know, you fought so many different people. Just some of your favorite matches, you know, from the top of your head, maybe, because I know you had countless matches, so many off the roster that you took on. But yeah, just some matches from the top of your head in the AEW run.
I mean, there's a ton of AEW dark matches. Of course, my first one with QT Marshall, I think it helped put the DDT on the map, and we told that story on Sammy's vlog for months. And then, like about a year and a half later, a lot of people don't know about this one. We wrestled each other again. We set like a 3-week storyline up, and I wrestled QT again on AEW Dark that I'm really proud of. I had a fun little banger with Serpentico that a lot of people don't know about. I thought it was very good. And I got to also wrestle Javon Evans, who's now in NXT. His name was Jay Malachi at the time. That's like a little hidden gem of me wrestling Javon Evans on AEW Dark. And of course, the first Miro match, man, like, you know, it helped put me on the map. It was less than 5 minutes long, but man, the story we were able to tell in those 5 minutes were incredible. And then it leads to me getting surprised with the contract after. Insane. And then I also had a series of matches with the House of Black that, you know, was one of my first real storylines on TV where I got to cut a promo. So what I realized is that, you know, as much as matches are great, you want a great story behind the match. That's what I got addicted to in AEW. After telling the story with QT the first time, I was like, oh, you want people to care about the match you're having. You know, it's not about the moves. It's about the person doing them and the story behind it, right? Sometimes I go back and I watch The Rock versus Steve Austin at some of those Manias, and the moves aren't great, but the emotion is so great. Like half the time they're just punching each other inside the ring, then they go outside the ring, they punch each other some more, then they come back inside it, and then they just start hitting finishers. And it's awesome because it's Steve Austin and The Rock. And so, like, I am more committed now to trying to make stories out of my matches and my and whatever type of feud I'm in on the indies, because I feel like that means more.
No, thank you, man. I want to say it's great you about the fondness of that time there, and nothing but positivity. You know, let's say that absolutely. Matthew Rodriguez again, and he's saying it's a final question. So yeah, I'll pump it in. Need the fun questions. Fun question: do you remember the golf cart spot with Sammy, and also memories of Miro? So yeah, it ties in nicely there because you were speaking about Miro.
Yeah, it's so funny because I was an extra for so long during the Jacksonville days, but I was not there that night that Sammy got hit by the golf cart. I remember immediately texting him and just being like, "Are you good, bro? Are you okay?" That was crazy. And you know, and then he ended up doing something kind of similar again in a match him and Ty had against Ortiz and Ruby Ruby Soho. They had a fun little tag on a pay-per-view where he got hit with a golf cart once more. And you know, and now they have a special edition Matt Hardy, Kenny Omega, and Sammy Guevara action figure coming out where the box is shaped like a golf cart. So Sammy's going to be plastered on the front, and Matt and Kenny. And so that is coming out very soon, if not already, to where so that moment will live in infamy forever, even in action figure form. And then Miro was just great. First of all, talk about just so intense in the ring. Like when you step in there with him, he is locked in. It's almost scary when you like, I remember we had one match on Rampage where I jump off the middle rope and I turn around like I'm trying to give him a crossbody, and he clubs me out of midair, and it is just the most brutal and violent looking maneuver. But I gave it right back to him when it was my time to let him. I was like, and like he never once complained. He took all the stiff shots and never once complained. He's the pro's pro. I loved working with Miro, and to this day, he still checks in on me. I remember when I got released, he checked in on me, and he'll still message me and respond to my Instagram stories and stuff all the time. So shout out to Miro. He's the best.
Truly is a brotherhood, isn't it?
Absolutely.
When you're saying that and you're all in contact, man. I met him. I met him at Fan Access in 2015, but he stayed in character. He was with Lana. And I go to say, can I have a photo and all that? And he's like, ask her. And he was doing the Bulgarian thing. I was like, holy shit, he's angry. The man's angry that he just stayed in character. It was quite good actually.
He had just debuted. He'd probably only been there for a year anyways, right?
And Lorna did all the spiel to me. But yeah, man, fond memories, the trips over there. Friends of mine bumped into you actually at WrestleCon in Philly last year. They chatted to you. I think it was outside. They're from the Midlands, so they're from Birmingham here in the UK. And they just said it was lovely. They got to speak to you about 5-10 minutes. And the TWC guys were there as well. So Ant said Fuego took time to speak to us. He said it was great. He was first class.
I try to always take time to speak to the fans, right? I try not to rush guys, especially in those fans, because I feel like I remember being a fan and meeting a wrestler, and if they were just any type of kind to me, it made me like them more and root for them harder, right? Because everybody has. Unfortunately, I hope you don't have this, but sometimes people have bad experiences where people are just rude or in a bad mood or I kind of rush them and shoo them away. And I feel like that always, leaves a bad taste in a fan's mouth. I just wanted my high five and maybe an autograph and a photo and, just some kind words. And so I always appreciate wrestlers. Even to this day, you meet, big superstar wrestlers. I just met Tom Petstock, Baron Corbin this past weekend at GCW, and shaking his hand and speaking to him for a little bit and seeing how cool and down to earth he is. That's what you want. You want guys to be cool and down the earth and, turn your ego on when the camera comes on and when you step into the ring. Think you're the greatest wrestler. Think you're the greatest person in the world when the red light is on. But when you step to the back, you just want guys who are easy and down to earth and easy to chat with.
Just one last question before we go, and we'll tie up, obviously, the bookings this weekend, promote them again and your socials and stuff. But just one last question. My good friend Justin Clapper from Wisconsin. I realise the list may be long, but what wrestlers haven't you wrestled that are at the top of your list?
Oh, Will Ospreay, the Young Bucks. I never got to wrestle Pac, and I just really, really wanted to wrestle Pac while I was there. Kenny Omega, we share the same birthday, October 16th. And so I would love to wrestle Kenny in some sort of form and capacity. Swerve Strickland, I've never stepped into the ring with. And these are just AEW guys. I can jump over to the other side and say AJ Styles. I never had a one-on-one match with Cody Rhodes, and there's history in there. Gunther, I think, my underdog storytelling would be great against a guy like Gunther. There's so many guys. I feel like I barely scratched the surface in AEW and wrestling guys. I think Kyle Fletcher and what he's doing is great right now. I would love to wrestle Kyle. The Beast Mortos, because he's just one of the best bases in the world. I would love to wrestle him. Yeah, the list goes on and on and on. It's a very long list, but probably up there at the top, Ospreay, Pac, Young Bucks. And Omega. I would have loved to wrestle them while I was there.
Perfect. Cheers for the question, JC. Love you, brother. Absolutely love you. And then, just tying up, just obviously for Friday and Saturday, the events, the matches, plug away, man, before we go.
Absolutely, yes. First Thursday, I'll be in Houston, Texas for local wrestling. Then Friday, I'll be traveling down to Theodore, Alabama for Diamond Championship Wrestling. And then I'll travel over to Plaquemine, Louisiana for Pro Wrestling 225. All fun, unique matches in their own right. And, I always come to put on the show. If you've only seen Fuego Del Sol on AEW television, AEW YouTube channel, you really don't know how wild and crazy and how good I think I truly am. And I feel like these indies, I have guys come up to me all the time and be like, dang, I didn't realize Fuego could go that way. Or dang, I didn't realize Fuego was that good. So if you only know me from my AEW work, you haven't seen my independent work, I truly suggest you come out to some of my shows. Check out my social medias because I post all my dates there. If I'm coming to a town near you, come be amazed and entertained, elated and captivated, mesmerized and hypnotized by Fuego del Sol.
Perfect. You've actually wrestled my good pal and former guest on here, Franco Varga. You've had a couple of tussles with Franco.
I just wrestled him last weekend.
The biggest wrestler ever. Yeah, love Franco. Love him to pieces. He's been great when he's come on the show, of course, friend of the show. But yeah, big Franco and you, man. The big man, versus the luchador, the masked man. That's what you want sometimes. David versus Goliath. You need it. You need it in wrestling.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like, those are sometimes the best stories. The underdog story. You want to see how the underdog can overcome. And I feel like I do a great job of that. And I've almost mastered the underdog story. That I have this certain quality about me where fans won't care and they get behind me. And it's a beautiful thing. Not all wrestlers have it, and I'm lucky enough to have it. Even if I'm losing in 5 minutes, if I'm wrestling someone like Lance Hoyt, Lance Archer, anybody that magnitude, I can still get a Fuego chant going, and it's a beautiful thing.
As you can see there, bookings available with Fuego. Book Fuego. ds@gmail.com. Promoters, anybody running, across the world. Let's not just limit it to America. We've said about UK. Get this man booked. A wealth of experience. He's wrestled some of the best wrestlers, on the scene. So yeah, thank you so much to former WWE, former AEW wrestler Fuego. I'm sorry, former AEW wrestler Fuego del Sol. And obviously currently with GCW doing loads of great stuff with them as well. It is my first masked wrestler luchador on this show. Can you believe it? 6 years without a luchador on this show. I'm doing a disservice. I'm doing a disservice to the luchadors, Fuego.
Absolutely. I'm glad I could come on here and pop your cherry. Yeah, and we have a good one.
Perfect, man. Perfect. Thank you so much for coming on, brother.
I appreciate you for having me. It was a blast.